10,000% return. Okay, so if that was in a hedge fund, okay, 10,000% return, if you were to put $10 million in, you would pay $200,000 for that year, and then $10 million times 10,000% is an awful lot, right? So what would that be? A lot of money. But guess what? Out of that lot of money, let's say it was $200 million. Or $2 billion. Let's say $200 million. I'm not going to do the math. Let's see my weakness, right? Out of that $200 million, you also have to pay the hedge fund manager 20% of that. Okay, so they get 20% of that $200 million, which is an awful lot. Okay, so $40 million plus $200,000 up front, compared to a fat 5%. You see the massive difference in pricing? So this is designed, like I said, to undercut the legacy institutions at the knees. Now, of course they could compete with this, right? How could a legacy institution compete? I'm gonna pick on somebody. First, raise your hand. I get a volunteer, then I'm gonna pick on people. How could Wall Street and the hedge fund industry compete with us? Say it again. Lower prices, right? But in order to lower prices, they have to pay less in compensation. The financial industry culture and Wall Street in general in New York and other financial centers, such as those in Europe and the EU and those in London, those in Canada, those in Asia, cannot lower prices because they can't pay less in compensation. The culture demands significant payment. The financial industry, and I'm going to speak from where I'm very familiar with, the US, is the only industry in the world that I know of where the employees actually make more than the owners of the company. Okay, so imagine you had a startup, you created a company, right? You're the majority share owner, you work very hard, but your employees consistently make more than you year after year, day in, day out. Between 35 and 60% of gross revenues goes to compensation. That's before paying the expenses of the company. Okay, this is industry-wide. So if the only way, and I think you're correct, that they can compete by lowering prices, but if the only way to compete with these smart contracts, with this software, is to lower prices, and you can't lower prices without losing your employees, how do you compete? Now let's suppose one company, such as Goldman Sachs, decides, yes, we're going to compete. We're going to lower compensation costs so we can lower prices. As soon as they lower compensation costs, all of their star talent, which is the only inventory they have, because other capital is a tool, but the actual inventory is the human capital of their employees. When they lower prices and lower compensation, all the star players run over to JP Morgan. JP Morgan says, well, I'm going to lower prices. They run over to Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley says, I'm running prices. They run over to Asia. Daiwa Bank, Mitsubishi Bank. They lower prices there. They run over to Europe. So this is basically whack-a-mole. As they're playing whack-a-mole, we gradually take more and more of the customers. The reason we take more and more of the customers, A, we have a very unique product. B, we have a head start. And C, there's no reason for us to lower prices or increase prices. As a matter of fact, transparency is our advantage.